Hey guys, it's Lego Boy Z3. Today I'm going to show you how to use WCA scrambles on Square-1, Megaminx, and Clock. So today is the first day of US Nationals, which means that there's going to be a lot of people scrambling different cubes with WCA scrambles. So on a 3x3 or 4x4, 2x2, anything like that, it's pretty easy. You basically just have U, D, F, L, R, and B, just like you had in the beginner's method. But when you get to more interesting puzzles like this, it's not really intuitive how you would scramble them in a WCA competition. Like, would this be an R, an R2? Would this be like a U, U prime? Would you have 12 different letters on a Megaminx, one corresponding to every side? Well, no, that's not how it works. So today I'm going to show you how to scramble them. So I'm going to start off with Square-1 because it's the simplest. If you want to skip ahead to one of these two, then go down to the description and I'll have timecodes down there. But if you already know how to solve Square-1, this should already be pretty easy and familiar to you. So basically what you'll have is groups of top and bottom moves like this, separated out by slice moves like this. So you'll do something on the top, something on the bottom, and then a slice move. And so when you just do a slice move, you just turn the middle layer like that. That will be represented in the algorithm as a slash. So if you ever see a slash in an algorithm, just turn the right side of the cube 180 degrees like this. And also for the top and bottom layers, what you'll have is sets of two numbers. So the first number will correspond to what you do on the top layer, and the second number will correspond to what you do on the bottom layer. And so basically looking straight on at the layer, this would be 1. So just turning it one single time like this would be 1. This would be 2, even though you can't turn it, it still is 2. 3 would be 90 degrees like this. 4, and then you can also have negative numbers, so this would be -1, -2. And so clockwise is positive numbers, counterclockwise is negative numbers. So that's -3. And then the same thing goes for the bottom, so let's just say that the first number was 1, and then the second number is -4. And so what you do down here is just turn the bottom -4. So counterclockwise 4, just like that. So let's try out a scramble. So of course you have to hold either this side or this side in the front. You always choose the darker side, which in most cases happens to be red. And so you hold it like this with the smaller part right here, and usually yellow happens to be on the top. So looking at the first set of numbers, we have -5, and then on the bottom we have 0, so we just don't do anything. And then we have a slash, and then we have 5, so 5 clockwise, and then -1, so 1 counterclockwise, another slash. Then we have 0 on the top, so don't do anything there. Then -3 on the bottom, slash. Then we have 4, -2, slash, and basically you just keep going. So 0, -3, -3, 0, slash, -4, 0, slash, -3, -3, slash, 6, and then -1, slash, 6, and then -4, slash, and then just -4. And there's no slash at the end, so we just leave it like this. It should be turnable right there. And we can check the scramble over at the picture on the side, and this looks correct. So now let's move on to Megaminx. So no, we don't have a single letter for every single side. That's actually how they used to do it, but nowadays they have a much better solution. And so basically we just have two moves that we need to do. So we always hold the Megaminx like this. So you're just gonna hold these three pieces. So the top corner, the edge, and the corner behind that. So you just wanna hold it like this. And so now you can see that there's two ways that you can turn it. You can either turn the right side like this, or the bottom side like this. Now you're never just going to do a single move, it's always going to be a double move. So just holding these three pieces with your left hand, you can turn the right side twice like this. So you're turning it clockwise, and that means it would be an R++. And so if it's a plus, that's clockwise, and of course since there's two pluses, you do it twice. So that's R++. If you wanted to do R-, that would be 2 counterclockwise like that. The same thing goes with D, just holding it like this the same way. That would be D++ and D-. And so knowing those few moves, this is what a scramble looks like. And so you always want to start with white or the lightest face on top, with green or the darkest adjacent face on the front. And you want to hold your fingers like this, and then we can just begin. So the first move is R++. So we just turn the right side of the cube clockwise twice. Then D-, so down counterclockwise twice. R-, D++, R-, D-, R++, R++, D-, and then you come to a U prime. So you just let go of these fingers, hold the cube in the same orientation, and turn the upper face once counterclockwise because it's U prime, just like on a 3x3. And then you go on to the next row, so you turn the right side counterclockwise twice, downside clockwise twice, right side clockwise, downside clockwise, R-, D-, R-, D-, R++, D-. Then you come to the next U prime, so you let go on that side, do a U prime, and hold back on. And you just continue doing that for the rest of the scramble. There we go. Now just checking it on that little picture off to the side. So it looks like most of these little patterns on each side kind of match up. So yeah, looks like we have a correctly scrambled Megaminx. Okay, now finally onto clock. This one, in my opinion, is probably the hardest and least intuitive one to scramble. And so when you look at a move in a scramble, there'll be either 1 or 2 letters followed by a number. So those letters correspond to which pin or pins are being pushed up at the current time. So there can be 1 pin pushed up or 2 pins pushed up. And then that number that comes next tells you how many times to turn the clocks. And make sure that you're turning the clocks that have the pins pushed up. So like if these 2 were pushed up, make sure you're turning one of these and not one of these. And so looking straight on at the clock here, this top part would be U, this part would be R, this would be D, and this would be L. And so of course that's up, down, left, right. And so if you were to look at this pin right here in particular, that would be up, right, because it's the upper right pin. And so yeah, this one would be UR, this one would be DR, this one would be DL, and this one would be UL. And if you were to have both these pins at the top, that would just be U. If you had both these pins on the right, that would just be R, same thing with L, and same thing with D. So we have our letter saying which pins should be pushed up. Let's just say in this example that it's R, and then we also have our number which says how many times you should turn those pins. And so if that number is clockwise, if it has a little plus next to it, that means you turn the clocks clockwise. And if they're counterclockwise, you turn them counterclockwise, and it has a number ranging from 1 to 6, or 0 to 6 actually. So 0 would be not moving it, 1 plus would be that, 1 minus would be that, and 6, starting from the top there, would be that. So here is what a scramble looks like. You can start scrambling on either side as long as the clocks are facing up to 12, and make sure that the pins are starting down. And so the first letter would be UR0. So that means that you move this UR pin up, and then you turn the clock 0, so you basically do nothing. And we can go on to DR, and that one says 4 plus, so that means that we just turn this clock 4 clockwise, just like that. And now we have DL1, so 1 plus means we turn it once clockwise like that. And then UL, we do 3 minus, so 3 counterclockwise like that. And now the next one says U, and since that's only 1 letter, that means that we do both pins up at the top here, and it says 3 plus, so we turn it 3 clockwise like that. And now it says R, so we bring both the R ones up, and we do -5, so -5 around to there. And the next one says D, we do 4 plus like that. And then L finally, we do 2 plus, just like that. And now when it says all, that just means that you bring all 4 of the pins up, and then you do -4. -4, and then right there it says Y2, so that just means you do a rotation like this. Not like this, but like this. So Y2 just around that axis, and now we go up and we do the same thing. So U, -3, and then R, +3 clockwise, and then D, 5, plus, and then L, +2, and then all, -1. And then those last 3 groups of letters are just the ones that should be remaining up at the end. So we can just move them all down, and then we bring up UR, we bring up DR, and we bring up UL. And now this one is the only one remaining back down. And this is your fully scrambled clock. You can take a look at the picture there, and it looks correct on both sides. And there we go. There are your 3 fully and correctly scrambled puzzles according to the WCA. I'll be competing in all these puzzles either today or tomorrow at Nationals, and so I'm sure they're going to be scrambled a lot. Luckily, I don't have to do that. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this video, and I'll see you guys next time.